and welcome to Link for Growth, this week's TV show for South West Herts. This week we've got an absolutely crowded show with 3 guests talking about what they do, all fingers being crossed. Tania has lots of useful local news as usual. Chris is back on the road today and we hope he's going to join us from Bushy, but he's been delayed, and also from Rickmansworth. So fingers crossed as to when or if we manage to get Chris on the show. He'll be interviewing 2 local business people about plans for their businesses in the next few months and years. Neal's going to be doing all the sport, and together we're going to have Neal and Catherine talking about the latest news for the Red Lion pub. And because that is a really fast-moving story, and every week we seem to get something. As usual, Catherine also has all the news of the local charity events and what's happening, notes and diary events for you. And we'll, as usual, have a food review at the end of the show. And maybe if Tania's got one, she can add one in as well. And this week's special guest is Nadine Standish, who's the business coordinator for Watford Watford for the Prince of Wales Business in the Community charity. As usual, you can contact us all on L4G SW Herts. That's L4G SW Herts. And Tania, welcome back. It's been a busy week in the district.
It definitely has, Diane. It's been a very busy week in this area, locally and professionally, and in all sorts of different ways. There's news about the Into Centre and those fences, gardens. No, they were doors.
Yeah, okay, that one.
Barriers of some sort. Anyway, they were doors that they wanted to put across to stop people to stop people going down Queen's Road. There's news about that. There's news about the local charity stuff. There's news about the Watford's MP's new role and proposals down in South Oxley for buildings and renovations and that whole new rebuild that's going on down there. More Link for Growthy. There's the OMG online mentoring group feedback that I can talk to people about.
Yeah, and Neal. Radley Cricket Club reached yet another final. It's kind of boring, isn't it?
Yeah, yet again they seem to be the top dogs of the league, and I'll have a little report on them, and I'll also be talking about how Watford got on last week and what we can expect from them tomorrow. Okay, great. And you and Catherine have briefly chatted about the Red Lion because you're both heavily involved in that. Yeah, we'll give the latest update where we're at and the support we're getting from Watford Observer as well. Catherine, as usual, you have lots of charity news and events, diary events coming up and fundraising events and that sort of thing, and you've got a restaurant review for us as well.
Absolutely, yeah. We've got charity news from Michael Green Foundation, of course, that's what I'm involved in, but also the Hospice of St Francis, the Herts Air Ambulance, Macmillan. There's lots and lots of things going on, as well as a bit of a plug for the big sports day in Watford tomorrow, of course. And yeah, a restaurant review. I will keep you guessing as to what it's going to be. Okay, great. Well, I've just seen that Chris has popped up on the screen, so you're out and about, and you're in Rickmansworth at the moment, I believe, Chris.
I certainly am, yeah. I'm down at the Fox and Hounds, and he's going to tell us all about what he's doing with the place down here, because we have drinks down here and on once a month, and they're doing some quite interesting things. So I'm going to tell you all about that.
Okay, that's great. And also you're going to be talking about Watford Improvement District meeting that was held earlier in the week, aren't you?
I am, yeah. My take on it. Your take on it. And also, I don't suppose you've had a chance because you've been driving, but there's some news in the Watford Observer about the market I sent you, so you can read up on that whilst you're waiting. No, I know all about that. I've read it already, and I'm ready to roll on that stuff, so don't worry about that.
Okay, good. Right then, and finally, our special guest. In 2014, South West Herts had a business connector from the Prince of Wales Business in the Community charity, Sarah Chalk, who was seconded from Lloyds Bank for 12 months. recently, Business in the Community, back in June actually, have just appointed a new connector, also from Lloyd's and also for 12 months. And Nadine Standish, welcome to the show.
Hi Diane, yeah, thank you very much for having me. So I'm going to be telling people a little bit about what the role is, what business in the community is, and how they can get involved. So I'm really looking forward to it because it's a great opportunity for me and for Watford, hopefully. So yeah, looking forward to it.
Great, we look forward to hearing more about it. Okay, last week we had 4 events for Link for Growth. We had the coffee in the market last Saturday. We had another coffee at Reason on Monday morning. On Tuesday, Chris had the opportunity to check out the lemon drizzle cake at the kitchen again with yet another coffee. Was it good lemon drizzle cake, Chris?
I have no idea. I went to Coventry.
Oh dear, okay. And last night we had a Link for Drinks here at Moonshine Water, and I know you were at that one.
I definitely was. We had Matt Termaine there, who's a Labour councillor from Holywell area, so it was really nice for him to drop in. And I heard through the grapevine that he mentioned us at his Labour meeting, which is where we went off to afterwards. So words getting out about and what we're doing in the local community, which is great.
Okay, that's great. And last Friday, and I'm sure Catherine and Tania will agree with me, we witnessed a fabulous night of comedy at the Reason Coffee and Bookshop, didn't we?
We did, absolutely, Diane. Yes, it was fabulous, really funny, and Arthur really didn't disappoint again, did he? What a strange character.
I thought it was really good. I mean, no one was quite expecting what he was going to do. It was the air of mystery at the end, and he didn't disappoint.
No, not at all. And there were some really good up-and-coming young artists there. So yeah, fantastic, funny stuff.
Yeah, apparently every show that Arthur Turner puts on is completely different to the previous one.
Yeah, I'm not surprised.
Okay. Anyway, last week you may have heard Chris and I talk about some of the changes that have been made to the Fox and Hounds in Rickmansworth, which is the pub we use for Links for Drinks down in Ricky on the second Wednesday of each month. So, Chris, we've talked about this, we've heard a lot about it. You've got the people there who can actually answer the questions as to how it's going to happen and what's going to happen. Perhaps you could tell us more. I
certainly can. I'm just about to introduce you to Patrick, who's are you the new manager or?
Yeah, I'll describe myself as a manager.
Okay. So I'm going to let you see the man in a minute. All right. So just, but yeah. So Patrick's new here, and he's basically changing the pub. So I'm going to talk to him now. I'm going to put him on the phone. So Patrick, we've been using this pub now for about 6 months or so, I guess. And Steve is the chap that we've been doing business with down here. You're new. We've met a couple of months ago. So why are you here, and what are you planning on doing?
Good question. I'm here because I thoroughly enjoy this pub. I've been coming here for a number of years, probably about 10 in total. Steve's been here for circa 7 years, and he needed somebody to give it a bit more life, a bit more energy. I have been working in pubs for a number of years, and this was a great opportunity for me to work with a mate, work in somewhere that I really, really enjoy, and also be part of a community.
So, you're a Rickmansworth chap, are you?
I am indeed.
Yes. How long have you been here?
I've been here 7 years now. Yeah.
Right, so you know the community quite well here,
yes.
I presume. So what's your vision then? What's the vision for the pub now? I know that when we spoke, you said you're looking to get community groups in here. Mm-hmm. So I know you've got the Chambers of Commerce going to have their local meetings in here now. So who else are you speaking to?
I've been speaking to every single shop owner, and we've set up sort of a splinter group of a town team.
Right,
we call ourselves, and it's in the early infancy. But we've got a good following now, and we've actually got the council coming to meet us in our next meeting to discuss our aims, discuss what we want to achieve, and how we're going to go about doing it. I really want the pub to be the hub of this. Yeah. So everybody meets here, everybody can discuss the issues, everybody can share a lovely beer, a bit of food, and take the meetings to the next level. There's a lot of talk, but not a lot of doing, and we really want to make sure that it's all followed through with the action.
So is it going to be a bit like on EastEnders, the pub sort of like becomes the centre of Rickman? Not that I watch EastEnders, just for the record, there are other shows.
Yeah, why not? You know, it's important that people do get together and have a chat and socialise over a beer. A lot of business, I've had other businesses where, you know, you do a lot of work over a pint and a social, and I really want to get that going. Again, just as an example, Abby, who owns a shop in the high street, has suggested a couple of ideas that will help her improve her online sales, because people come back out of London, they can't collect the goods from her shop, so we'll hold them here so people can come in here, have a beer, have a conversation, and then take their goods home, which helps her, helps us, and it helps the community.
Fabulous. I mean, Link for Growth as an organisation is big on community. We're about bringing people together. So from our perspective, your initiative here in Rickmansworth, we're hoping that we can really start to get a real sort of buzz about what's going on. And we've got Les Mead, who's involved in the museum down the road, and there's lots of people here in Rickmansworth, but coordinating it into if you like, some kind of strategy which works for the people of Rickmansworth, works for the businesses, but also kind of brings that, like, we're part of this, we belong to this group, is really important. And I think what you're doing is, I mean, there is a community place in the other, it's like a community centre, I think, just across the way. I don't know whether you've got any hookup with them. I've heard good things about what they're doing in terms of community as well. So it's much needed, and I guess that's why I mean, what's your passion? I mean, have you kind of thought, well, actually, I want to be more involved in what's going on in the community? Is that what's behind this?
Yeah, it is. As I say, I love this area. I've been brought up here. I've lived here for a long time. And I just feel it's lacking a little bit of TLC. Yeah. Certain areas of the high street. I'm a massive foodie, which is why I'm involved in the pub. Right. And we're relaunching our menus next week. And again, it's all about local food. We use our butchers, we use our greengrocers, we try and identify where the meat comes from, all the old cliches, but it actually makes a massive difference. And it helps our high streets. If we are standing here and we're saying, this is where to buy the best produce from, it helps. Yeah, and I want to do everything I can to promote that, because I know that will promote my business too.
So you were doing lunches. Are you going to be doing evening food as well, or
not to start with? But we will be. We have a limited menu in the evenings because we get quite busy over the beers. But we're working on the room upstairs and hopefully convert that into a restaurant, which would be obviously enabling a lot more people to come and enjoy our fare.
Fantastic. And have you got any events coming up in the next couple of weeks that you can tell us about?
We do. If you'd like to put your nose in there, you'll see that the pub is quite sparse at the moment because we're getting ready for the Rugby World Cup.
Oh, fabulous.
Which all England games will be shown in their entirety. Right. Most of the home nation games will be on. But again, if people want to come down, ask if they can put a particular game on, we'd be delighted to. So that's a big focus over the next month and a half, that's for sure.
A lot of beer being drunk.
I hope so.
Well, thanks so much for talking to us.
Thank you very much.
And good luck with everything, and we'll see you at our next second Wednesday or whatever it is.
Wonderful. I really look forward to seeing you.
Fabulous. Cheers for now.
Thank you. Cheers.
So there you go, Diane. There's all the stories there about what's going on down here at the Fox and Hounds in Rickmansworth High Street.
Okay, well, I'm just going to ask Catherine and Neal about the other community pub in the area, which is the Red Lion Project, and then I'm going to come back to you about the Watford market, if I may, since there's a big article in the Watford Observer this week about it.
Okay, no problem. I'll hang around.
Okay, that's great. Neal, Catherine, I don't know who's going to pick this one up, but there's yet more news about the Red Lion campaign, which seems to progress in leaps and bounds each week.
Yes, absolutely. We were both at an organisers meeting talking about the Red Line and the latest updates last night, Wednesday night. Gosh, it's been a long week. There's a nice piece in the Watford Observer today as well, which is advertising the next public meeting about what's happening and the latest updates. It'll also be looking at the questionnaires that people have filled in the local area and filling everybody in on what people have said that they would like to see happening with the pub, having it remain as a pub, but also having it develop into a community area of some sort. Neal, can you remember what else was said at the meeting?
It was just more about how we're going to go forward from here, and how we're going to structure with the company that does it, and what price to set shares at, and how we're going to try every single funding option that's available. So we need as many people as possible to turn up for that meeting on Tuesday.
Yeah, the meeting is 7 o'clock on Tuesday, and it'll be at the town hall. If you enter the town hall from the back, from the car parks at the back, and find training room 2. But if you go in, generally there's people milling about, so it's quite easy to find where it is. Just head for the town hall car park entrance, 7 o'clock on Tuesday.
Okay, that sounds great. Chris, just before you go off to Bushy to see your second business owner or business manager, I just wondered if you'd like to comment on the Observer article that's just appeared. Quote, "It's unfair and unjust. Traders rally against plans to move their stalls for the Christmas market." Now, I know we talked a little bit about this last week, but I also know that you have really good contacts in the markets. Perhaps you could tell us a little bit more in your view on it.
Yeah, the problem here was quite simple. The notice period that was given, or the notices that went up, no one was told about those notices. So it was only in passing that the traders actually found out. And it was John who actually manages the market on behalf of Town and Country. When I asked him how it was going, he was absolutely fuming. And he said, "I've just seen this notice yesterday up on this lamppost, and it's about the Christmas market. And it's the first I've heard of it," he said. And actually, the date for complaints was yesterday. So when he was telling me about it, it already closed for comment, as it were, and he'd only just noticed it the day before himself. So it seemed like it was done without any consultation. And having spent a little bit of time wandering around there, picking up bits and pieces of information, I found out that the contract with the council and Town and Country means that there's a clause in there that says that if the council want to do something in the high street, then they've got carte blanche to do what the hell they like, and Town and Country can't do anything about it. So basically, the council have decided that they want a Christmas market due to popular request, and they said, okay, we'll have a Christmas market then. And they basically spoken to Andrew Sparrow, who's the director of Town and Country, and just said, well, we want a Christmas market, and we want it for 6 weeks, and we're going to have it start of December, and it goes through till January. And Andrew Sparrow's gone, oh, okay then, because it's in the contract. And consequently, it just went ahead. Now, the location for it is between Clarendon Road, the top end bit of Clarendon Road, past the Palace Theatre, all the way up to the underpass, the overpass, I should say. So that's where all the regular traders trade from. And basically, they have been busy beavering away trying to generate business all year, only to their loyalty to be absolutely rewarded by saying, well, during the busiest period of the year, we don't want you, so we're bringing in some other people. Absolutely ridiculous. They could, and what I'm suggesting they do is put the Christmas market the other side of the overpass, because then everyone's got to walk past the regular market to get to the Christmas market, and of course people will want to go and see the Christmas market. So I don't think you'll find that the traders would moan about that. I think they would be quite happy if it was dealt with properly, but no consultation and just fait accompli. Not a good idea.
Okay, so really it's a question of location, 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 rather than the principle behind it, you think?
Yeah, I spoke to a few traders up there, and they basically, in principle, weren't against an attraction that would bring more people to their place where they work. But to say it's replacing us, well, they had a few different words for that.
Yeah, well, we won't go into them now, but yeah, I think we can all imagine. Anyway, okay, thanks for that, Chris. We'll let you get off to Bushy. I hope the traffic is better for you between Rickmansworth and Bushy than it was between Watford and Rickmansworth, and we'll see you in about 40 minutes or so.
No problem. Enjoy the rest of the show without me.
I'll be quieter.
Cheers.
Cheers. Okay, as I mentioned at the start of the show, the Business and Community Organisation have appointed Watford's second business connector. Some of you may remember Sarah Chalk, who was seconded from Lloyds Bank for 12 months in 2014, 2013, started in towards the end of 2013. This year we have Nadine Standish, also as a business connector. Welcome to the show, Nadine.
Hi, thanks, Diane.
Okay. Perhaps you could start off by telling us a little bit about yourself and your background, and then go on and talk about a little bit about business in the community.
Yeah, great. So I've been seconded from Lloyds Banking Group. I've been at Lloyds about 6 years in a number of different roles, mostly in the change management space, but most recently as a project manager in Group IT. So helping to upgrade, some of our older infrastructure so that it's more user-friendly for customers and for colleagues. So quite a demanding role. IT is a 24/7 culture, and a lot of it because of the areas that we work in. We've got colleagues all over the UK and abroad. A lot of it was on headsets, so this is a totally refreshing experience for me because nearly everything is face-to-face, which is just wonderful because I do like seeing people. So yeah, and it's a great opportunity for me. So I'm seconded from Lloyds into Business in the Community, which is a charity. It is the Prince of Wales's Responsible Business Network, and their primary aim is to get businesses more involved in local issues and help to resolve some of the more social issues, because actually businesses have a huge part to play, in our economy and making sure that as a country that we thrive, and actually globally, not just in the UK. So it's really about helping those businesses to understand their impact and get them more involved in those issues and educate them about how they can help.
So. But there's also an awful lot of working with local charities in there and local community organisations as well, isn't it? You don't have to be a business to come to business in the community to ask for help.
No, absolutely. So Business in the Community, as I said, it's a member organisation. So it's got about 800 organisations, and they run an awful lot of different programmes. So there's lots of campaigns, some of which you'll probably be familiar with, like Healthy High Streets. They run Healthy Workplace as well, which is all about helping employers, educating employers around things like good nutrition, mental health, how to look after your employees. And their big one this year is Ban the Box, which is all about asking employers to remove the box around whether people have got a criminal record or not, because it potentially excludes an awful lot of people that have got good skills for the roles in that first cut. So they do a lot of campaigning, they do a lot of working with employers to help educate them on key social issues, and the specific programme that I work for is called Business Connectors. So there's a lot of national programmes. This one is a local one. We're in 93 locations at the moment, and it's a 3-year commitment, so it's all about getting local businesses to help local people, whether that's small, medium or large businesses, and local people could be charities, other businesses, individuals, but it's all about building that local ethos of everybody helping each other, which helps the community to thrive. And actually, if our businesses are doing well, if our charities are doing well, everybody benefits from that. So it's all about understanding the impact that we have on each other in a community.
Yeah, so, and it's not just IT projects, is it? I mean, your background doesn't preclude people who want finance help or something like that. You can still help a small charity get in touch with an accountant or something like that, can't you?
Yeah, well, absolutely. So I spent a couple of years before that working on more HR type projects, so looking at things like work-life balance and talent and succession planning. So I've got quite a strong background in kind of people-related projects, and actually the purpose of the role is about not just me going out and helping people, but actually bringing people together that can help each other. So it might be, if somebody really wants financial advice, actually it might be me going out to some of our local branches, and not just Lloyds branches. We've got some great other branches in Watford. We've got a lot of big accountancy firms. So it's actually going out to those people and saying, can you help? Because actually once I step back, it's a 3-year commitment to a town, but it's about forming relationships that can exist without me. Because the idea is almost to do yourself out of a job. So you form those long-term relationships where people can help each other and you don't need to be involved. Because there's an awful lot of business expertise, there's an awful lot of specialist expertise in the voluntary sector as well. And I think by bringing those people together, they can actually have mutual benefit. It's a 2-way relationship.
Okay, so we've already touched on some of the issues you expect to cover. Are there any other things that you think or have already occurred that you thought, oh, where did that come from? Or
Yeah, so it's quite early days for me. So the first 3 months are kind of a fact find. So I've met some absolutely fantastic people, and started to really get a grip on Watford, the issues facing Watford, which for me is really useful in how I plan, I guess, the rest of my year, because it's a relatively short time. So, you know, there's some big issues in Watford around skills gap. There's a huge amount of investment coming into Watford in terms of the projects, and some of which have started. We've got a couple starting in the next 2 months, which are creating a huge amount of jobs in the Watford area, but we haven't necessarily got local people that are skilled for those jobs or for the jobs that will come afterwards. So at the moment it'll be construction, but in the future it might be retail jobs, hospitality jobs, and we need to make sure that we're working with the schools and the colleges to help, you know, kids and also unemployed, homeless people, work with all the charities to help make sure that we give people the right skills. And I guess that's on a more strategic level. On a more local grassroots level, it could be as simple as, you know, there's lots of charities that want to help with things like websites, photography, getting videos made. So it's working with local filmmakers, you know, local accountancy firms to say, actually, have you got the time to come and help these people with whatever their challenges are? And so far I've got a huge bank of people that want to help, and I've got a huge wish list from the charities. So now it's a case of me matchmaking, really, and I guess in effect it's a bit of a brokering service to make sure that I'll put the right people together so that they go on and have a happy relationship for long term. You know, it's not just a one-off, you know, one-off matchmake.
Okay, and if charities want to use your services,
yeah,
is there any charge involved in this, or is it all free, or how's it funded?
Yeah, so I'm fully paid for by Lloyds Banking Group for the year, so I'm absolutely free as a resource. So if charities want any help whatsoever, then they can get in touch with me via Twitter. I've got an email address, I've got a phone number, so they can find me on LinkedIn as well. You know, if you Google me, you should be able to find me relatively easy, or through the Business and the Community website. We've got pages, so it's, yeah, like I said, it's a totally free service. If a charity wants help, that's not to say that the help they get will necessarily be free. So for example, if they were looking for help with their website, you know, it wouldn't necessarily be that they would get that for free. They might, if they're lucky, but it might be that somebody offers them a reduced rate, you know, or offers them, you know, something extra as part of that service. So it's not necessarily all free, but my time is. So I will absolutely help where I can, and I want to work with charities as well to help them understand that they've got something to offer back. So actually a lot of the charities that I've been speaking to have got a big wish list, but they're not really understanding necessarily how much value they could add back to a business. So I want to work with charities to help them understand that, you know, it can be a two-way offering, and actually they can use their specialist expertise to help influence things like health and safety policies, disability policies, you know, physical access to buildings, colleague engagement, you know, all of those things charities can really help a business with. So there's benefits both ways, and I want to work with the charities, you know, not just to get them stuff, but actually to talk to them about what they can give in return.
I mean, I used to work for Watford Women's Centre and be very closely associated with them. I'm still associated with them in some way. And Sarah managed to find a photographer who gave us 3 days free to take a whole lot of photos for the website. So, yeah, this kind of matchmaking does work.
Absolutely, yeah, it does. You know, and it's kind of a, you know, we go into a community and we say, you know, we can't make a promise to a charity that we will be able to get them something, because you just don't know what people are willing to give. But sometimes you come across surprises from businesses ringing you up and saying, you know, we've got a whole load of desks or lockers or something that we want to get rid of. Could anybody benefit from that? So it works both ways as well. You know, if there's businesses that think, or even charities that think they want to get rid of something, or they might have something that would be useful to other people and don't know where to take that, they can bring that to me, and again I can help almost matchmake the other way.
Okay, that's great. And if I'm a charity, how do I register my interest? Or if indeed if I'm a business, how do I register my interest in joining the Business and Community programme?
Yeah, so it's pretty easy. It's just contact me, and as I said, I'm on Twitter. You can find me on LinkedIn. You can find me on the Business and the Community site, and just by googling me, you should be able to find some of my contact details. Get in touch with me, and then I will come out to see you, or you can come to me, whatever works best. But I quite like going out to see, you know, charities and businesses in their own space, because it gives me a better feel for what's going on and the issues, and really gives me a chance to get to know that organisation. So I'll come out and see you. We'll have a chat, and then we'll kind of discuss your needs or what you want to offer and the next steps from there.
Okay, that sounds great, and thank you very much for joining us on the show today.
Brilliant, thank you for having me.
Okay, and talking of business, you may remember that back in July this year we spoke to Paul Roberts about Intu's plans to put doors across Queen's Road, where the shopping centre, the Intu shopping centre, goes above the paved access area. That planning application was withdrawn after much hoo-ha after a couple of weeks. But apparently, the news broke earlier this week that the blocking of the road had no legal basis. Tania, you have the details.
Yes, I do absolutely have the details, Diane. Thank you. Yeah, there was a petition put forward by our Liberal Democrat County Councillor Stephen Giles Medhurst. The petition got more than 1,500 signatures. The traders and the Queen's Community Action Group were really vocal and supportive and made sure that that petition got very well supported. Helen Lynch, the chair of the Queen's Community Group, apparently formally presented the petition to the council, and they've argued that they weren't needed and there were a clear obstruction on the highway. So if you can imagine it, that that little road there, that little underpass, would have been completely blocked off, so that walk through from what used to be Waterstones through to Queen's Road would have been the walk that was broken by doors either side. So I think they had a fair point to deliver, and it went to the council, and the council have said, actually, you know what, you're absolutely right, there is no legal basis for doing that. So they said we want them to rethink the whole idea, and you know what, instead of just putting the idea out there, how about having a bit of discussion with the local traders and the local people and the planning people first before you put those suggestions forward. So it sounds like it's a good result.
It does. And talking of a good result, Richard Harrington has now got Watford's MP has now got yet another new job.
He has. He's getting jobs like no business, isn't he? So he's already the MP for apprenticeships. And now he's got a job being the MP for refugees from Syria. So it sounds like quite a good job. It's not the refugees for everywhere. It's just the refugees from Syria. And David Cameron apparently said, I'm appointing a specific minister for Syrian refugees to make sure that the 20,000 that we have promised to resettle and give a good warm home to in our country, that happens rapidly, it happens well, and the whole country pulls together to deliver that. He said the British government is focusing on helping Syrian refugees in Lebanon, discouraging people from making the dangerous journey to Europe and instead taking people from camps, making them welcome in the UK. So I understand that the people that will be coming over for our little bit of sanctuary over here will be taken from the camps that are quite close to Lebanon, so that dangerous journey doesn't have to be made. Dorothy Thornhill is doing her bit to support as well. So everything's coming together, it looks like, to support these refugees that are setting out from very dangerous situations. Dorothy says, I've been working with other councils through the local government association to make sure we've learned from the way refugees have been placed in the past. We've asked for 5-year funding for school places, housing, English lessons, support networks, and so on. So much like Link for Growth, she's focusing on what needs to happen locally to make these people not just have homes, but also become part of a valued part of our lovely local communities.
Okay, that sounds great, because you can still hand in blankets and stuff like that, can't you, to the town hall at Watford?
That's right, yeah. We reported last week that the Watford Council has extended their support for refugees, so that the public can donate nappies, washing powder and other supplies at the town hall for the Syrian refugees. So that's still possible, so just take your things to Watford Council offices, that nice building, that curved building that we've got actually just over the road from me now, and they'll make sure that the refugees that need them will get them.
Okay, that's great. And there's some pretty big news about South Oxley happening and the possible redevelopment there.
There is, absolutely, Diane. I used to live very close to South Oxley, so it's one of the areas that I'm quite interested in. it's quite a nice community down there, you know. People know people and they get on with people and they talk to each other and all of that sort of thing. So the redevelopment down there has to be done quite sensitively to make sure that that community stays cohesive, really. And there's lots of, apparently a number of options have now gone into the council about what will happen to these areas, and one of the options, it's only one of them, and apparently the decision won't be made for another couple of months yet, until next year, but one of them actually includes a proposal for a 7-storey building on one of the sides of the area. I can't remember which one, whether it's north, south, whatever. Anyway, so this 7-storey building would be part of the proposal, alongside an array of houses, flats and car parking spaces, and all sorts of other things. So the regeneration scheme is valued at the moment at 125 to 150 million pounds, and apparently that value is higher than that of a rival developer in the bidding process. So hopefully that means that the council has gone for better quality and better facilities rather than just going for cost cutting.
But of course, as you say, it is only one of several proposals, as we understand, and there's consultation period extends on through until next year, and there is a timeline with more details on Three Rivers website, and I was asked to point that out.
Yes, absolutely. So local people can get in touch with the council, can get in touch with the developers and have their say between now and then. I haven't looked at the timeline at the moment, but I know that in the past they've had public meetings and opportunities for people to go and give their 2 pence about what they think about the proposals. So hopefully they're still doing that at the moment with this part of the development. It's a nice area down there.
Yeah, it is a nice area. Yeah, and as you say, you're right about it having a sense of community.
Yeah, absolutely. You find people in that precinct down there actually chatting and talking to each other. You find small groups of people who clearly know each other quite well, catching up with each other and, you know, hello Mary, how are you doing today, and all of that sort of thing. So it's a nice area.
Okay, well, it may be a nice area, but and people can be nice, but we tend to be very wasteful of the stuff. And one Watford Council removed over a ton of rubbish in an afternoon from one street.
That's right. We are mucky people, aren't we? I was going to say something else there, but I presume we're a family show, so maybe I won't swear. We are mucky people. We have so much rubbish. And the way things are packaged, there's so much rubbish and so much waste is promoted by the way that we currently live our lifestyle. So it's actually no surprise to me that members of the council's recycling team, in partnership with the subcontractor Viola, helped one street, Gladstone Road in central Watford, to remove 1.3 tonnes of waste in one afternoon. I think that must look so much better in that street, having removed all of that stuff. Apparently the street's got about 200 properties, many of which are shared houses, which means there's lots and lots of bins. And concerns had been raised because people couldn't get past on the pathway, especially with prams and buggies and that sort of thing, wheelchairs or the nice motorised vehicles that people these days have. So on Saturday, the team visited the street to give advice. I'm very, very pleased they were handing out advice on recycling and all of that sort of thing as well. So that's really good. And they're talking about they were talking about how to get the recycling stuff done. They were talking about how to get large items recycled. So that's an effort to kickstart the clean-up, and 30 unused bins were removed. I was wondering where they came from. Why on earth did one street have 30 unused bins? I wonder if tomorrow or the next day or the next day after that someone's going to be saying, hey, someone stole my bin.
Right. Oh, you know, bins, they kind of multiply overnight in the dark.
I can just see that happening, Diane.
Anyway, talking of things that are old, Classics on the Green held their event last weekend and apparently is very successful.
Apparently, it couldn't have been better. They couldn't have done it very better. They've done this on a number of occasions now, haven't they? Didn't we speak to Kevin a couple of weeks ago on the previous one, the Croxley one? Yes, yeah, I think we did. So they've done a number of these now, both in Croxley and the one that they did this weekend, which was somewhere else. Where was it this time?
I thought it was also Croxley this weekend, but...
Oh, well, okay, there you go. It's Croxley again.
It was on Croxley Green again, yeah.
Lovely, lovely. So they're learning from their mistakes of the past, and they're doing blooming well now, saying that they couldn't have done it any better. More than 10,000 people are believed to have gone along there, and we know one of them, our lovely David Sawyer, I think was one of them that was there. I saw some photos of him there enjoying the vehicles. Car enthusiasts had a chance to get up close to those vehicles, and I have to say, some of the photos I've seen, they are beautiful vehicles. Some of them large, some of them small, and all the rest of it. But yeah, fascinating place. I haven't been myself, but that people had said they'd never seen it so busy. There was a picture with one of the fairground rides with everyone having fun, and that just summed up the whole thing. It's become a great public social event. Don't think we could have done it any better, said Kevin, the organiser. So yeah, really, 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 really good. Some quick thinking on the day, really using that resource to the fullest extent.
Yeah, I think the guy's name is Kevin French from memory. But anyway, the other thing is, it's mid-September, but apparently we should be thinking about Christmas.
Yeah, I really, I'm not into this. This is, yeah. Sorry, it's mid-September. Let me enjoy September. Let me enjoy all of the beautiful leaves that we've got just about to turn. Goodness. Not apparently in Rickmansworth area, I think it was.
It is.
It is, yes. Rickmansworth Town Centre. Because they're already, clearly these things have to be organised and built up and all the rest of it, designed and everything. So in order to get the designs right, in order to get the time right to make the lights and everything, Three Rivers District Council are looking for sponsors for the lights in Rickmansworth Town Centre. Now this is actually an opportunity for that lovely Patrick that we met earlier to engage with Ricky Town Centre and Three Rivers District Council, because what they're looking for is sponsorship, and companies who sponsor or people who sponsor will have their name in lights at Christmas. Wow.
Oh, wonderful, wonderful. What a great present. Okay, Tania, thanks for that. And we'll come back perhaps a bit later with some other bits and pieces. Neal, are you there? Yes, he is. Yeah, hi Neal. Radlett are through to yet another cricket final and Watford won their first game. You've got all the local sports news.
Yeah, Radlett booked a place in the playoff final and a trip away to North Mims tomorrow, 10:30 start, with a 9-wicket win over Welwyn Garden City. So, although they're not unbeaten this season, they're looking good for the final. So let's hope they can pull out another performance tomorrow and win the league again.
Yep, and good luck to them. And Watford won their first game last week, as much as you predicted, and you were there to witness it.
Yeah, it was a very, very good performance by the team. Yet again, they restricted an established Premiership team to look very ordinary. That's the 4th time we've done that this season. The difference this time is we got a win with a goal by Igalu, which was a nod down from Deeney, and a lovely finish by Igalu. Unfortunately, shortly afterwards, Barami was sent off, so we had a long time to wait with 10 men. But even with 10 men, Watford will look totally assured at the back and had several chances to score themselves.
And did the fingernails last half hour?
It wasn't as scary as you would thought, because in the past you would fully expect Watford to let a goal in towards the end of a game. But this season, their defence seems excellent, and it was buzzing. The atmosphere in the crowd was absolutely fantastic. So yeah, that was really good.
And this weekend they're travelling north for a game against bottom of the league Newcastle.
Yeah, Newcastle having a terrible time this season, rock bottom, and I can imagine the lads are really looking forward to the trip up there, especially seeing as Newcastle are probably going to be without 7 of their first team players. So obviously can't be complacent, but massive opportunity for Watford to get their second win of the season.
Yeah. So what's your prediction?
I don't think there'll be many goals, but we won't lose the game, and I would expect us to sneak it 1-0.
Right, okay, well, yeah, so far you're doing pretty good. You're still sort of in line to do my lottery for me one week.
Yeah, well, they're sitting mid-table where I said they would be.
Right, and another team that's sitting mid-table are Kings Langley FC. Last weekend they played and lost, but it was a cup game.
Yeah, so it's a case of time to concentrate on the league for Kings Langley. They got knocked out of the League Cup on the first round after what was a rather dull 0-0 full time, and went to penalties, and they got knocked out on penalties.
Yeah, it's a shame that, isn't it? But they're playing tomorrow, and the team they're playing tomorrow, coincidentally, are also bottom of the league.
Yes, they are bottom of the league. Tomorrow they're away to Arsley Town, but that league's a little bit different. But being bottom of the league in that league, there's only a few points between top and bottom, so no complacency there. Kings Langley have to put on a good performance, but it's a fantastic opportunity because they could get up into the top few if they win tomorrow.
Yeah, they're at home actually, Neil, I think.
Yeah, sorry, they are at home.
Yeah, okay, don't worry.
Yeah.
Don't want to send people off to Ardley when they should be going to Kings Langley.
Yeah.
No one would thank us for that. Thanks, Neil. Catherine, you've got some news about a big weekend ahead for the Michael Green Foundation.
Yes, very big weekend ahead. We're busy. We're preparing a whole load of things for our new Eat Fit courses, starting in Watford and St Albans. And talking of St Albans, we will be on the market tomorrow. We'll be there from 8:30 till when they pack up, I suppose. We'll be promoting Eat Fit. We'll be handing out our flyers, which look a little bit like this. I expect a lot of people have already seen a few of them kicking around. We're expecting the mayor to come and have this is the Mayor of St Albans, to come and have a photo with us, taken by our one and only Diane David Bailey Richardson. That should be round about midday, so if you want to come and photo bomb and whatever, then come and see us at midday. We'll be handing out little fruit cups and talking about health and fitness and changing your lifestyle to be a little bit healthier and fitter. We'll also have members of the team from Everyone Active from Westminster Lodge in St Albans coming down, and they'll be there to talk and run circles around everybody else. I'm going to mention in the same breath that Watford is also having a big sports day in the High Street tomorrow. We are working with Watford Everyone Active as well, and they're also going to be handing out flyers for our Eat Fit thing in Watford High Street. Watford Everyone Active are donating a lot of their sports equipment for the big event in Watford High Street tomorrow. So come along and see us at midday, and then dash back to Watford High Street and have a run up and down there as well. Should be great fun.
That's the operative word, isn't it? Dash back.
Absolutely, yes. Lots of moving very quickly.
Okay, great. And unusually, we actually have news of some jobs in Three Rivers.
Yes.
Yes, sorry, I forget. I missed it on the running order, but I did send it to you.
Just keeping me on my toes. They're lucky I've got things.
Exactly. You should have your notes open.
This will be the story about electoral canvassers, won't it, Diane?
It is the story of electoral canvassers. Yes, Catherine.
Okay. If you've got time to spare, evenings and weekends, and you're interested in earning a little bit of extra cash, they're asking for canvassers, basically. Vacancies in all wards of Three Rivers District Council. So it's a bit of door knocking, hand delivering some forms, and they're looking to do this throughout most of October. You don't need any previous experience. It would be an advantage, but just having a personable attitude to talk to people on the doors would be good. You must be an adult, but you don't need to be resident of the district to apply. I'll put the details up about who to call on the links at the end of the show.
Okay, that sounds great. And it's not only in Three Rivers that things are busy, but St Francis Hospice in Berkhamsted are holding an obstacle race, which seems to be the theme of peace hospices at the moment. I mean,
yes. Yes, it's getting people thinking about being active, I suppose. I don't know. It's having fun whilst raising some money at the same time. This is a Bear Grylls survival race. I'm not sure I like the sound of the survival part of it. It sounds a bit grueling to me, but there are actually two courses. So there's the 10K version, which is for those real enthusiasts who really like a challenge. There's also a 5K. Survival race as well, which is designed for all levels of fitness, so even people like me could do it. This is going to take place at Trent Park in London on Saturday the 3rd of October. As I said, raising money for the Hospice of St Francis. Apparently Bear himself will even be there firing the starting gun. So registration is £40. Minimum sponsorship they're asking for is £150. There's plenty of time to register. Get your running shoes on.
Yes, yeah. I mean, the Peace Hospice is doing the same thing the week later if you've still got some spare energy, aren't they?
Yes, yes. Is this the push for the peace, is it? I think I've posted details up on the League for Growth website about that before, but I can do so again. Yes, lots of raising money for the hospices around our area. They desperately need our money in order to keep going. Moving on from that, St Francis are actually holding their annual general meeting. This is going to take place next week. It's on Thursday from 7 till 9 at the Hospice of St Francis in Berkhamsted, September the 24th. They want to impress on the public the sort of work that they do, what's involved, and also the costs that are involved. They need to raise £4.8 million a year to give the care that they do. So they're asking for people to come along. There'll be drinks and canapes. Come along and listen to the work of the hospice and find out a little bit more about it.
Yeah, and I know that the Peace Hospice are also look each year for a similar amount of money to that. It's a phenomenal amount of fundraising effort that both organisations need.
Absolutely. It's not surprising that we see them popping up in the papers and say, hey, this is a new event, come and get involved in this. They have to in order to keep going. They need our funds.
Yeah, but you and I are both graphically trained and artistically trained, so perhaps this next item to raise funds for MenCap might be more in our line.
Absolutely, yeah, this is an interesting one. I was intrigued by this. This is a secret art sale to be held in Rickmansworth. Now, I was wondering whether this meant people turned up with their hands over their eyes and they couldn't see what was going on, but that's not what happened at all. Actually, there are works of art for sale for £35, which I believe are anonymous. You don't know what you're buying until you bought it, which is an intriguing idea. So this all kicks off. The exhibition launch is on Friday the 18th of September. This is local artists and some professional artists as well have donated work. So we get to know who they are, but we don't necessarily get to know what they've done, which is intriguing. There's a launch for this on Friday the 18th September. This is at the Cafe in the Park in Rickmansworth Aquadrome. On the launch night there's canapes, drinks and entertainment, and then there's the exhibition that carries on through Saturday the 19th and Sunday the 20th. So great fun, and I shall try and get along.
Good. Well, I think it's one of those ones, if you go early, you might actually pick up a huge bargain and find yourself, not with Picasso, of course, but with
maybe Picasso's son, granddaughter, who knows? Will they find this area?
Who knows? A quick reminder to go red.
Yes, absolutely. This is Herts Air Ambulance. They need our money too. So if we can have a think about that as well. They're calling on the people of Hertfordshire to go red in celebration of National Air Ambulance Week, which is the 21st and 27th of September. So this is next week. They're basically asking if you can do something with a red theme, whether it's throwing a dinner party, wearing red to work, be sponsored by friends and colleagues. And raise some money for them as well. There's a fundraising pack that you can have sent to you. Anybody can register. Again, I'll post the details up so that you can click through to the link and find out what's involved. But that's a bit of fun. Again, raising money for a much-needed service in the area.
Okay, and if running is too energetic and just buying art isn't energetic enough, you can go for a walk together this weekend, Catherine.
Yes, guided walk on Croxley Common Moor. This is on the 20th of September, which is my birthday, just throwing it out there. Meeting at 10 o'clock by the entrance of the bottom of Mill Lane in Croxley Green. So that's 10 o'clock start, should finish by 12 noon. Suitable footwear advisable, especially after all the rain that we've had this week. But I think we're in for some dry weather over the weekend, so that would be a lovely walk all along Croxley Common Moor. That sounds like great fun.
Okay, and Watford Rural Parish Council, which is a fairly unique institution in local government in the UK, are having a Macmillan cake and coffee morning.
Yes, they are. This is on the 25th of September, which is what day is that? That's a Friday. Yes, Macmillan Coffee Mornings, everybody's heard of these. They're hosting one along with a tabletop sale to raise money for Macmillan nurses, of course, and they do a vital service in our community. So this is 25th of September. 10 o'clock in the morning till 12 noon, and this is at Watford Rural Parish Council in Oxley Drive in Watford. I'm going to throw in another one there as well, because I know there's another Macmillan Coffee Morning going on the same day. If you can't make that one, Rambush Pub in Aldenham are also hosting one. Same time, 10 till 12 on Friday. Actually, that's Friday, the 24th. The 25th Thursday. What day is the 25th? That's Friday. That's weird. Okay, so the Rambush one is Thursday. Sorry. Rambush is Thursday, and Watford Rural Parish Council is the Friday. So you can actually go to both.
Okay, well, we're supposed to, at this point, have, hoped that Chris has got back to speak to a second business owner, but unfortunately that hasn't happened yet. So in the meantime, we'll talk
I've got something I can throw in if you've got a gap.
Yeah, okay.
I was going to say, I was at Watford UTC yesterday morning. I was talking to some of their Year 11s about small businesses. As one of their projects, they have to compare a small business with a large corporation and how they do business. So I was talking with them, and then afterwards I was talking with the lady who is now in charge of not just Watford UTC, but also Elstree UTC as well, and this is Emma Loveland. Lovely, lovely lady. She was talking about the latest developments at Watford UTC. They're in the process now of building a business cafe, a travel agency, travel and tourism agency, a sports and fitness place, and also cafe and restaurant. And this is all going to be on the lower floor of the college. And what she was asking was, for their business cafe, they would like a networking group to come and test it out and have a networking meeting of sorts down there and really just use the space. It will be beneficial for the students who will be involved in hosting it, and also beneficial for the students who can see how a networking meeting takes place. So there will be a Link for Growth coffee morning. It should be early in November. I've just got to confirm the date. Yeah, keep the first week of December free for a coffee date at Watford UTC, and you can have a nose around and see all the new building there as well. It's brilliant.
So is that December or November?
It'll be December.
Right, okay, great. Thanks for clarification. Well, we're still waiting for Chris. So I think what we'll do is I'll talk about Zeppelin workshops tomorrow. Now, this isn't us going back in time to the early 20th century. It's a workshop tomorrow for the Watford Museum about building your own Zeppelin from recycled bits and bobs. Basically, you've got to be between 8 and 16. It's free, but booking is essential via the watfordmuseum.org.uk website, or telephone 01923 232297. And at that point, I see that Chris has just joined us. Chris, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Oh, great. So, where are you? And have you arrived where you're supposed to be arrived at?
Yeah, I've arrived, but there's no one here. So I've sent Jemima a message and asked her where she is, but anyway, she's not here. So anyway, we can talk a bit about what it was. Last night she had a new collection that she was showing. Did she send you some pictures of those?
No, she didn't. She was thirsty. They didn't arrive.
So anyway, so that's going to be a rather small piece in this show, which is great.
Well, that's okay, because we're running over anyway.
Yeah, no problem.
Okay.
Was there something that you wanted to ask me about the bid?
Yes, you were going to report on that for us.
Okay, well, let me report on it for you. So Tuesday evening, there was. Hang on a sec. Is that? Well, I thought I just saw somebody coming, but no, it's not. Yeah, so Tuesday evening at Woo Woo's, which is near Oceana, they had the launch of the bid, which was basically a collection of businesses that had come along to hear why they should say yes to the bid. Now, the bid is basically there's 500 businesses in the middle of Watford, and it relates to the high street itself. And the idea is that the businesses, based on their rateable value, contribute a sum of money which goes into this company which is being set up, a limited company for Watford Bid, and with this money they can do things that will improve the town centre and hopefully bring more people along to visit Watford. And there's a whole gamut of things that the bid would benefit the town, not just, for example, they've got they put a business plan together which includes things like improving the flowers in the street and improve the cleaning and basically just make the town a better place. There's a whole raft of different initiatives, but some of the sort of byproducts of doing things like this is that you can get things like matched funding from the council and other places where if you stump up some money, then you can get a grant for an equal sum, which basically means if they've got 3.5 million they've collected, they can probably grow that to 5.5 or 6 million by the very virtue that they've got a stash of money that they can use, and things like as a group of business people, small businesses might get things like refuse collection at one rate, but collectively as a group of businesses they might be able to negotiate a better rate for everyone because they're working together, and also things like negotiating with the council. Perhaps one business or two businesses might not stand much of a chance of getting something through, but if you've got a representative from the businesses of the town at the council meetings, then they can probably have more of a say than they would do individually. So that was basically the message. They had someone from Kingston, who they had a lot of similarities between Kingston and Watford, and basically they're in their third term. They've just completed a third term now, so they're now entering. They've been going for 10, 11 years, so this is the third time they've done a bid, so you can do them consecutively, and they have nothing but good news to say about the bid. Now, what's going to happen now is in October the ballot forms go out, and by the end of October they're going to see how the people of the town have voted. Now, one of the votes is one business, one vote, and the other ballot is dependent on your rateable value. But the key thing here is you have to win both for the bid to be accepted.
Okay, so that sounds really useful, and this is all available. All this information is available on the town centre, on the Borough Council's website, is it?
Well, it might be, but they had all the business plans available, and if anybody wants a business plan, I'm sure that there are various places where they can pick one up. Apparently all the town centre businesses will be getting a visit anyway by a gang of thugs who are going to force them to say yes.
Okay. Well,
that last bit wasn't true, by the way, just in case you...
Well, I didn't. I was going to say I hope not. Yeah. Otherwise, we'll have to get someone involved. Yeah.
But anyway, they did actually on the way out ask people to pick one of three balls. One of which was yes, one which was I've no idea yet, and the other one which is a no. And when I looked in the jar, I didn't see any of the balls coloured no.
Sounds good. Sounds promising, but of course, as many as slip twixt cup cup and lip?
Yeah, I mean, basically by the end of October we'll know. By the 1st of April next year, if it is yes, the company will be formed, and then they start rolling the plan out from, I guess, from April next year.
Okay, that sounds brilliant. Okay, so let's just finally sum up as usual with a quick summary of Link for Growth events. Starting with Chris at the food hall tomorrow morning at the market for a coffee.
I'll be there.
Between 10 and 11:30, Chris will be there. I might be there for the first part, but as Catherine said, you get the opportunity of photobombing my photos later on in the show, earlier in the show rather, when I'm at St Albans photographing my Green Foundation stand. On Sunday, if you like an English breakfast, a good old-fashioned English breakfast, you can't beat going to the Junction Cafe on St Albans Road for a Link for Breakfast feast. Starts at 10. I know Chris raves about them and keeps saying how good they are. Even when he was on the Raw week, it was sort of quite amazing.
Well, no, in my defence, I wasn't raving about that salad, to be fair. But the cooked breakfast is pretty good.
That's what I meant. That's what I meant. Anyway, and then on Thursday, it's slightly out of area, but there's another Link for Coffee in St Albans at the Beach House, which is on St Peter's Street. We usually get quite a few visitors there from Southwest Herts going as well, because it's really only just across the border, and it's a great way of meeting other people and extending your networks. Then on Thursday, there is also a Link for Drinks at the Three Crowns in Bushy, starting 6 o'clock, which is their usual Bushy evening event, and we hope to see you there. And on Friday, we have the Link for Coffee held at Nash Mills by the Waterways Experience. I don't know if they've got the boat coming out this month or not, but sometimes it takes on a mini cruise up the canal, and other times we remain docked. And anyway, finally, Catherine, do you have a review for us?
Actually, yes, I do. This is Carluccio's in Watford. Carluccio's have lots of restaurants all over the place. We've previously been to one in St Albans. It's lovely. We're very pleased to see one opening in Watford. They're a lovely, lovely restaurant. The inside, this is based in Lower High Street in the new sort of restaurant district around there. The restaurant itself is very light, very airy, very modern, sort of bistro feeling inside. But the menu is fantastic. Lots and lots of lovely fresh foods. In particular, I would recommend their calamari. Crispy calamari is lovely. Their sharing platters are really nice. The antipasti with the olives, meats, and all the rest of it. Lovely breads and oils as well. Interestingly, I didn't realise, but they do their picnics there as well. You can pre-order a Carluccio picnic and go and pick it up in one of their rather fabulous cool bags. So that's a nice feature as well. They've got a nice set menu as well, very affordable at £10.99 for 2 courses, or you can have 3 courses for £3.50. They've got free Wi-Fi, they've got a deli, you can go in and just have a drink, they've got a bar, they've got disabled access, they've got alfresco dining, they do cocktails, smoothies, they do a nice kids menu, which isn't just burgers and chips, actually it's smaller portions of some of their lovely pasta dishes, and they do breakfast. So what more could you want from a high street restaurant? Go on down to Carluccio's, enjoy.
Well, I'm afraid to say I ate there and I was a bit disappointed compared to some of the other
Carluccio's. Not my glowing review.
I can only say it as I see it, as I found it. Maybe I ordered the wrong thing and you ordered the right thing. But I
tell you what, next time we will go together. That's what we'll do.
Okay, but there were 4 of us. They messed up one of the orders, and what I had wasn't particularly nice, and the other 2 were also a bit iffy about what they'd received. So maybe we all ordered bad things off the menu, or the first chef was off on that particular day that we went in. I don't know, but I have been to other
staff. That's what it was.
Yeah, exactly. But anyway, so Tania, do you have a review for us or not?
No, not this week. We've run over enough, Diane. Come on.
Right, well, in that case, it's time to say cheerio, and thank you very much to Patrick from the Fox and Hounds for telling us about what's happening down in Rickmansworth to that particular pub. And thanks to Nadine Standish of Business in the Community for her contribution. And I think it's farewell from the rest of us. Chris?
Yep, cheerio from me.
See you soon.
Bye.
Lovely to see you. See you again. Bye.
Bye. Okay, and on that point, it's time to disappear, and I will hopefully catch you all next week. Same time, same place. Bye.